Ah, my kid's not sick anymore. Daddy's sick now. Daddy? Moving on. Meta's CTO, Andrew Bosworth, yesterday posted an AMA on Instagram answering questions about Cambria, Quest 3, Facebook logins, and a lot more. And I have compiled all the parts that I thought were important, and we'll cover all 9 topics right here in order. Timestamps provided. We'll show the clip in full, then go over my opinions. But remember, I'm an idiot, and I get smarter by people calling me out on my opinions, giving me better thoughts on those or comments. We all get better when we push back a little. So if you disagree or agree, push back, let me know. Let's get started. Much love, everybody.
Yes, Project Cambria, which we've leaked a little more information about this week. Still, all the details aren't out there yet. Will be available for consumers to buy. It's going to be a pricey headset. Again, we're packing a ton of next generation tech in there. We're certainly trying to pioneer, especially on things like color, pass-through, mixed reality. But yeah, it's going to be available for consumers who want to buy it. We can't wait.
So Cambria is a consumer product, or consumers can buy it. Price has been alluded to by some as $800, while other reports are saying expected to be much higher. If you ask me, I believe it will be well over $1,000. Now, with that being said, price is what you make of it, and all I'm going to say is this: I have been playing Quest a lot more lately than PCVR, and that's for many different reasons, not particularly by choice, right? And I went back to a game recently that I hadn't played in a long time on PCVR, and I did. PCVR is immaculately better, right? It's amazingly better. Hands down, it looks better, it played better, it felt better, right? But for all the betterness, my blinders go on really quick. And if you put me on the same game on the Quest and have me play that just for a week, you forget really quickly about the differences, right? And I've always thought, or I now think, that blinder situation may be PCVR's biggest struggle. And I bring this up because of price. If that price is that high, above $1,000, it being mobile, though, maybe makes it worth it. And I'm pretty excited about a high-end mobile headset. That's just me personally. But I think if it works with AirLink, which we will talk about momentarily, well, PCVR is looking a lot stronger.
Yeah, I don't think I'm giving anything too much away when I say that it is part of the Quest ecosystem, which means that, yeah, it's going to work with AirLink. It's still a standalone headset, but will work with AirLink and with Oculus Link cables, just like its predecessors have. For sure.
So not part of the Quest line, according to Zuckerberg and many things, but part of the Quest ecosystem. You've got to love Meta's consistent branding on everything. It will work, apparently, with AirLink and Link, and I think this is a tremendous high value. I think this is the best thing that could have happened for PCVR titles or developers looking to make PCVR titles, and I'm very excited about, again, a high-end, very pricey, kitchen sink type of headset that throws everything at you, reportedly used not only to test out these big features on what developers find useful, but also to help supplement the costs that they're losing on the Quest line themselves. But again, I really can't overstate how personally excited I am to have a high-end standalone device that can still be used with AirLink, because PCVR, again, I think those blinders that we can put on when we touch standalone for a while, you can forget how good PCVR can be. And if this device works and can be mobile while still being connected to PCVR, I think many people will be excited for the possibilities and realize that some of their favorite games they may have not been playing the PCVR version. If there is, go try it and your mind might be blown a little bit, but that's an OG VR enthusiast blinder or anecdote myself.
I'm not sure what true MR headset means. I can tell you we've got way better cameras, so both RGB and black and white cameras working in conjunction to do color pass-through. We're using active instead of just passive, so we're using infrared beams to make sure that we have depth sensing that allows us to have a better reconstruction of the image. Obviously, I think most people know that when you're doing color pass-through, you have to kind of reproject the world because the cameras don't line up, both not with just with your pupils in line, but also the depth is offset. So you do a reprojection. So there's a lot of work that goes into making it feel good. If you've used the pass-through on Quest or Quest 2, yeah, this is something else. This is something different. It's exciting.
I only decided to share this one because I think it is actually kind of an important question. So there's a lot of nomenclature. You have XR, you have VR, you have AR, you have MR. Like, it's pretty asinine, and if you get on Twitter and ask people what they prefer, it's a good way to piss people off and build engagement at the same time. But in reality, mixed reality devices are just devices to me that have both VR and AR possibilities, meaning pass-through. Some people think mixed reality is something like a Beat Saber live video or something like that, but to me, a true mixed reality device, the true being a weird, a weird word in that whole entire sentence or question, is just a device that can do both virtual reality and augmented reality, using pass-through, color pass-through basically. And for that being is really exciting. If you've been following my channel for a little bit, you've probably noticed my recent infatuation with pass-through use cases. And personally, I know a lot of you viewers and a lot of people who talk to me on Twitter, they really like the pure, avid escapism that VR brings, and I think there's absolutely a place for that. Like, I've had a bad week personally this week, both physically being sick, but emotionally over a couple things, and just having a really hard work week. I'm pretty drained. And you're damn right, jumping into Pavlov, regardless of how I'm feeling at 10 o'clock at night, just to mindlessly kill some people in VR, have that pure escapism of no one bugging me. Like, you're damn right, that's helped my mental, it's helped me a lot this week. Like, I can't underplay, that's helped me a lot. However, there are times where I still want to do stuff in VR, but I don't want to be separated from those I care about. Like, I don't want to be separated from my wife or my kid or people around me. Sometimes I just still want to feel part of the world, but be able to do some things in a headset. And I'm just really excited for mixed reality. Let me know what you think.
I think, the watchword for me for the metaverse is continuity, the ability to take people and objects with you from place to place. And I think that's something that we want to be able to do, certainly between VR and AR. Virtual objects as useful in VR as they could be in AR. I think certainly, having somebody who you're in a VR experience with and then transitioning to seeing an AR hologram of them seems pretty cool and straightforward. So that doesn't mean everything is compatible everywhere. That's not even true in the physical world. There's things that I'm not allowed to take with me to other places, or practically, it's not practical to do so. But I do think we don't doubt that we're all part of the same physical space. So I think the same will be true for virtual objects.
And very similarly to the last one, I only bring this one to your attention because I would just like to say my piece. I do not know what the metaverse is. I am a metaverse expert just by time I've been in VR, and I am loud and obnoxious. That is my expertise, being loud and being obnoxious and having a least understanding of what's going on. What is a true metaverse or an AR, VR metaverse? I don't know. All I know is that there was a time, kind of far away, but relatively not, that I was using an original Game Boy in the back of a station wagon with wood panels on both sides. Some of you know what I'm talking about. And I remember holding up my original Game Boy from street light to street light in the back of the car trying to play games. And the fact that whatever we want to call a metaverse now is me embodying the character, shooting a gun by physically holding it, I'm okay with it. I love that. And if that's the metaverse, like, I'm happy with the state of it right now. What you call it, what you think a metaverse is up, I don't know. And this question really has no right answer either, and Boz did the best he could to answer it. But the state of the metaverse, I'm extremely happy with right now. Let me know your thoughts.
As a little bit jabby, but I actually like them because it's good to see what, my malcontents are my people. That's how I work. I'm never satisfied, and neither should you be. Why should you be? Here's the thing that I'm going to tell you. Certainly we're working on multiple generations of headsets. Of course, that's no surprise, but they're all going to be underpowered relative if you're comparing it to a PC, which has hundreds of watts to put to its disposal. Or relative to a console, the same. Why? Power equals thermal. Thermal is a thing that we have to be careful of when it's on your face. We are actually even relatively underpowered on the same chipset to mobile phones because of the considerations that we have around how the device is used. So, yeah, we have to work through as an industry. Having said that, I think we can still build great experiences, and I think we've proven that already with Quest 2, and we'll continue to do so with all the generations to come.
I actually really like this answer, and I think it's entirely true. if you are comparing your VR experience to a PC VR experience, yeah, of course it's gonna be underbaked. Like, no shit. You look at side-by-side comparisons of a Quest game versus the same exact scene, the same exact game on PC VR, there's a noticeable difference, and it's even a little bit more noticeable when you're in there. But again, no shit. And at the end of the day, the more you play one of these, the more you're going to be accustomed to that. If you only play PC VR and then you jump to a Quest, you're damn right that you're going to notice that difference heavily. I think that's extremely fair. But when you switch to a Quest 2 and you keep playing that over and over again, you start to not notice those differences anymore, because if the game is fun, fun is fun. And I know that sounds like a stupid euphemism, but fun is fun. And if you're having fun, eventually everything just melds together and you accept what you're seeing. And for what the Quest has been able to do, I mean, I can't wait to see what Red Matter 2 looks like. For anyone who hasn't played it, here's my little pitch. Red Matter 1 was beautiful on the Quest 2. Beautiful. It looks really good, really good. And with Red Matter 2 coming to the Oculus Quest 2, I think this year, yeah, I think it's this year. Go play that on Quest 2 and tell me that they aren't pumping out a tremendous amount of quality for what really is an outdated mobile chip. It's very impressive, and I think the quality is pretty good, but that's just my thoughts.
This is really a question for people to answer for themselves. I think there's going to be a lot of use cases where having more authentic pass-through is going to be a big deal. I think especially for if you're doing productivity work, being able to see your keyboard and your coffee mug and things is a huge deal. And certainly being able to see, you know, if somebody's entering the room or is in your vision. So I think it's a potentially big deal. Certainly for developers, I think we're going to see a lot of creativity in how to deploy this, both for entertainment and productivity use cases. So I'm pretty excited about it.
God, I feel like, seriously, I feel it because I can you see this? Like, I'm sweating more and more because I don't feel good. But this question is making me kind of get emotional way, because color pass-through, and even just regular pass-through where it's not color, they're both so undervalued to me. I watch the news a lot. Shouldn't, because it makes me depressed, right? And I watch the crypto land and stocks just plummeting, and just kind of thinking about people who maybe put money in when they shouldn't have because they got hyped or something, whatever. And people just losing generational wealth right now. Like, not billionaires, I don't give a fuck about them, but just normal, average, everyday people like you and me losing generational wealth. That's scary, and it sucks to hear. And then it's also thinking that people just can't afford giant screens or all these accessories, but possibly, not the Cambria, but possibly in the future, like a Quest 3, a $299, $399 device that adds infinite screens, adds infinite accessories that would cost money, adds infinite everything, and gives you the power to still be connected to the world. It shouldn't be underplayed. And while that can all be done without pass-through, you know, you could make a VR game like that, some people don't want pure escapism. And I think it's entirely amazing to still be able to watch your kids, still be able to see what's going around your surroundings, to be able to interact with your significant others, all while having all these things that you may not have the ability to have, not virtually, outside just that $299 headset. I think it's beautiful. I will not get off the soapbox. And much love to you.
I don't know. I thought it was just funny. Yeah, it was really fun. It's just a quirky, cool thing. Luke Hurd made the funniest Spark AR effect, where you too can have a blurred out Cambria on your face. Yeah, we'll reveal more details pretty soon.
Mark's face was blurred because he doesn't want to admit that sadly it's Bradley beat him to the punch on revealing it. That's all I got.
Yes, this is still in the works, still on the way. One does not simply change the account structure. It turns out those data privacy regulations around how data is owned, how it's moved, how it's managed are of critical importance to how we work at Meta, and we're having to work through all due care and diligence as we make these transitions, but we are still working on this. It's still going to happen, so stand by.
So, Facebook logins, you guys remember how those were supposed to go away at some point? And we still waited, and we're still waiting, and we're still waiting. I hear the answer. In the grand scheme of things, it does make sense, right? It makes sense. However, at the end of the day, when I hear people talk about protecting data, protecting X and Y, who's getting protected is always my question, because there was a time where I was able to be in VR with at the time, Oculus product that didn't require a Facebook login, and it worked just fine. So I don't feel protected personally on doing the slow and good transition. I just would say drop this damn requirement. Facebook has no use case for me. I don't use it outside of work. I only have it to connect to the to my Meta Quest 2 now or whatever. It gets really annoying when people talk about protection when I haven't asked to be protected that way and didn't ask to need it in the first place. Now, granted, it's my choice to use it. I volunteered to do it when I wanted to use this product, but it's a tricky situation, and I think we can all agree, get rid of the fucking Facebook requirement quickly, please.
Over this before, we really want to have a headset that allows us to advance the state of the art, gives developers something to play with as we look towards the future of what virtual reality will be, for people who have more money and are doing things like productivity and collaboration, and can afford a higher price point. But we also want to have a headset that's accessible, that brings this to the masses. And Quest 2 is that. It's going to continue to be that. So it's going to stay in market even after Project Cambria launches. And it's going to continue to be a phenomenal value and a great experience for those who choose to purchase one.
And for the final question, I did save this one for last, although it is also one of the last ones he went over that was related to XR, is what happens with all these headsets being out there? Because you can imagine if Quest 3 comes in 2023, as some reports have said, you would have a Quest 1, a Quest 2, a Cambria, and a Quest 3 on the market. And developing for 4 different SKUs, it's impossible. It's impossible, especially when they all are vastly capable of different abilities. You've already seen games right now not come out with Quest 1 support from the get-go. Pavlov just announced they will be applying to the Oculus Store, the official Oculus Store, not just the App Lab, which I think is amazing. Dave Vills and the Pavlov team deserves your money, deserves every single thing they can get, and I look forward to those servers being more and more filled so I can destroy people in them. Don't add me in there. Like, pretty proud of that game. But they already are not going to have Quest 1 support, and I think it's very plausible we should start seeing Quest 1 support end this year. Will that help developers overall? I don't know. I do not know how much they slow down progress because of the Quest 1, but as they get Quest 3s in their hands in the future, and they have their Cambrias in their hands, I would expect them wanting to up their quality in many different aspects. That Quest 1 support will likely not suffice, so don't be surprised if Quest 1 support just ends up stopping very, very soon. That's my guesses. But that is the AMA. I'm going to be honest, guys. I'm going to bed. Much love. See you next time, Space Cowboys. Peace.